Coming up on this episode of Heel Squad. I don't know if Jennifer Esposito's meant to be a puppet again.
For some reason, it just never went away. Like, it haunted me, getting jobs but never quite feeling fulfilled. And Rose McGowan said something once that I thought, that's it. And I was supposed to do something very big, and I was squashed immediately. I was never going to be it. Never. I was not going to be the lead. I wasn't white enough.
Did you connect with any of the other female directors, like Sofia Coppola's or any of them?
We're conditioned to compete. Why should I do this for you? I want to make my own film. Said it to me. Said it to me. Said it to me.
Oh my God.
When it burst out of Tribeca, we had a lot of big companies come around like, whoa, where did this movie come from? And then all of a sudden, things started to drift away. And I was like, what's happening? And
a year after a standing ovation at Tribeca?
Year.
Oh my God.
It literally changed me on a cellular level. And this will make me sob. I will never doubt my ability again. It's really wonderful to finally realize you were never the problem.
Yes. Oh my God, I want to cry. Hello, Heel Squad. We are back with Jennifer Esposito today. If you missed part one, definitely go back and listen. She shared her incredible health journey from decades of being dismissed by doctors to finally getting the celiac diagnosis that changed everything. Today, we are picking up where that story left off because once Jennifer finally got her health back, she had to answer a much bigger question. Now what? We get into what it really took to bet on herself and the incredible journey of bringing her movie Fresh Kills to life, a film that she wrote, directed, produced, financed, and starred in after mortgaging her own home to make it happen. She also opens up about the heartbreaking realities of Hollywood, the constant competing and comparing, and how moving to Paris helped her find a sense of peace she'd never experienced before. Let's get into it. Therapy, books, podcasts, coaching, I have done it all, friends. But every time life got overwhelming, I'd still find myself slipping back into old patterns. That's when I created a guide back to myself, who I am at my core, not who everyone thought I should be, and it helped me so much. So now it's official. This October, you can make your guide back to you with me. You'll have a personalized guide you can return to whenever life hits hard. If you're ready to get into alignment with the real you, I'd love to see you at Canyon Ranch this fall. The link is in the show notes. And then as we transition to the next part of this conversation, that was also another passion point I had too, I was like, okay, I want to help get Fresh Kills out there. I want to get people to see how incredible this movie is.
Thank you.
And so, like I said, for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's incredible. It is the first female mafia story. And then as I was digging in, there was some article about they're like the first female mafia movie. And I'm like, no, actually, there's been one.
Yeah.
So tell us about this journey, because you started dreaming of this as a teenager.
16. So I grew up in Brooklyn, went to Staten Island. And as soon as I went into Staten Island as a kid, I must have been 10. It was just a really rough surrounding. I remember, 10, 12, 13, boys would come around and like help my dad open the pool. And then one, they were maybe 2 years older than me. And then one summer we hear, oh, where's so-and-so? Oh, he was shot. Oh, like it was, and he's dead. And so-and-so's brother killed him. And it was like, I just grew up around some heavy mafia. But the fear was from the young women. I grew up around some really, really tough young women. And I'm a very big, I question everything. And I had fear in my home for different reasons. And then fear outside my home. So I developed this really, you had to have a tough kind of skin. But inside I was frightened, but I was always questioning, why are they so angry? Why are these young women so angry? And I would think, and I would know what their fathers did, and you'd hear things. And as I got to be more of a teenager, you really understand. And I would say to myself, well, how would you feel if you knew your dad was doing these things? And I would try to have compassion, but as a teenager, when you're being told they're going to come and kill you and kill your dog who lays on the, like, literally this one really big mafia kid, she said, I'm going to tell my father to kill you and your fat dog that sits on the lawn. And then my dog came back and died one day. Like, no joke. I'm not exaggerating. It was rough. It was scary. It was, I'm not saying they did it. I'm not saying that he was old, but still it was this constant, like, fear. And like I said, the violence was something that really stayed with me, that I saw from these young women. And as I got older, I always wanted to be an actor. Actually, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to tell stories. That's what I knew. And I said to my parents, I wanted to go to NYU Film School. And they were like, good luck. They didn't have the money to send me to film school. So I thought, oh, I guess I'll be an actress. That's what girls do. Because I didn't see any female filmmakers out there. But I remember taking this story with me. And for some reason, it just never went away. Like, it haunted me. So I go through my career and I'm getting jobs but never quite feeling fulfilled. And, we need a couple of days and a lot of wine to go through the career to where this led me. I'll just say a lot of wine.
I get
I'll
you.
just say at every Rose McGowan said something once that I thought, that's it. She said about herself, like, they came for her, Hollywood came for her because she was different. And she had this thing, or whatever it was. And then they take it and they want to squash it. They want to curtail it. They want to calm it. And after Summer Sam, I did Summer Sam with Spike Lee. The town, like, came for me. And I was supposed to do something very big, and I was squashed immediately by a very, very, very big, scary, known to be scary producer. And
not one that's been outed already.
Yes, but now is coming back because, of course, not Harvey. But really, really, I was clear very early on that who I was exciting, but I was never going to be it. Never. I was not going to be the lead. I was always going to be the sassy friend. I wasn't white enough. I was told it across the board. She's not the girl next door. I was scary. I was threatening. I was told by a manager, you should be more like Cameron Diaz. I was just like, I don't even know where to go with that. Like, I'm Italian from Brooklyn, like, grew up around mafia. I don't know how to do Cameron Diaz, as she wouldn't know how to do me. Like, and especially back then, we all had to be Julia Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that wasn't me. And the more I tried to push my size 9 foot into a size 6, the worse and worse it got. And I remember, like, the anxiety of trying to be what everyone wanted me to be. And
which, by the way, is natural in this business because you're an actress, right? So it's almost a natural
100%.
thing to think,
but
even more so.
Even more so of, like, I got a call one time from my manager. I was on this movie, and they were like, are you happy on set? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, oh, the producer called and said, like, you don't really say good morning. I was just like, we're starting at 5 a.m. I'm just trying to learn my like, just do my job. Like, nothing I was doing was right. And then if you ever speak out about, like, any kind of abuse situation, like, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you don't do that. there's no right step. And it's
No. And
wonderful
by the
now.
way, the men can do whatever they
Oh,
want. The
I
men
would
can come take
literally,
a piss on their desk and they would be like, yeah, let's go for drinks.
literally, I just said this because, like, Army Hammer's back in the scene. It's like, no, you can potentially eat people, and then, hey, take a couple of years, and then we're gonna have you back in a movie. It's like, but if a woman so much as says, I'm uncomfortable with, I remember one, they had to, like, a glass, a window was going to explode, right? And they were like, we're just going to blow this fake glass in your face. And I was just like, I don't know, is that right? Don't hold us up. You're going to hold us up, or you're not going to do it like that. It's just like, there's no. I remember, hey, Jennifer, what do you think about the third act? I'm like, well, I think about, oh, you didn't want the right answer. You didn't want the honest answer. You want me to go,
Yep.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You're amazing. Like, all of these things you start to learn. So I became like this, like how do I be this? And it's so wonderful now over so many years, and Fresh Kills really, really, I'll get to that in a second, but it's really an amazing feeling. And I want every single woman to hear what I'm about to say and really take this in their own life. It's really wonderful to finally realize you were never the problem.
Yes.
You were never the problem.
Oh my God, I want to cry.
Yeah. We have taken it on.
Yep.
And we have,
Because that's what they want you to believe.
yes, yes, yes. I have the chills because you were never the problem. And if you doubt me, look at what's happening in the country, and you see where and how they would like your life to be. And then you say, Jennifer, wow, you were always right. It wasn't that you didn't say good morning. It wasn't that you didn't do this. It wasn't that you weren't enough. It wasn't that you were never supposed to win, especially a woman like me. You were never supposed to win. You need to know this.
I have an adjustment.
Go ahead.
You were never supposed to be there necessarily. You didn't belong there entirely. You were there
Literally.
for the moment to get to where you're supposed to be because you're supposed to be in charge. There's a difference, because I've seen the same thing. Like, if I wasn't treated as terribly as I was in different places, I would have never pushed to escape, to go to the next terrible place, to go to the next terrible place, for then God to give me a brain tumor and be like, you are not getting it. You are not a puppet. You are a creator, and you are a leader, whatever it is. Like, you are supposed to be something different. So you are being pushed out of these places you don't belong in. They don't want your light. They don't want your genius. They don't want your creativity. You are too fucking much. I was too much for people. So guess what?
Same.
I can be too much all the fuck I want.
That's right.
I can be
That's
my
right.
full fucking
That's
too
right.
muchness.
That's
There's
right.
going to be no one squeezing my hand to tell me to shut up live on TV. There's going to be no one to tell me my idea is stupid, that then someone else goes and does, and then they're brilliant.
Yep.
It's just, it's not that we weren't meant to win, Jennifer. We are meant to win, just not on their accord.
Not on their court. Absolutely, 100%. I'm saying as the fact of, like, when you're beating yourself up, like, if I only would have, if I did, if I, like, oh, I
Let me get
literally,
skinnier. Let me do this. Let me do that. Yeah.
I went over things in my head and therapy, and, like, wait, and it really took me years. So what happened with this film, this was always in my brain, but I was still doing the dance, still had to work, still doing the dance. So I'd go in and out of, like, this is not it. You got to go here. And Fresh Kills would be like, you have a story. So I would pitch it every once in a while to people, and they'd be like, yeah, great, go write it. Like, no belief that I was ever going to be able to do anything like this. And then you start to doubt yourself, of course. And so I would write a little, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, until I got to a point when it was just like one awful experience after another, and I just got to a point. It was probably 8 years ago, and I remember it was around New Year's, and I thought I was so miserable. I was really, really miserable. And I thought, okay, I have to quit. And there was this thing in my head, but make fresh kills first, because then you can end on your terms and you could finally do what you believe you can do. No one's coming. No one's answering your call. No one cares about you complaining. No one cares. Women should be in more films and we should have stories from women. No one cares. And if you think you can do it, then do it. And it was like, then you have to look at yourself and like, wow, I've spent years complaining to people who don't give a shit what I have to say. So if you believe,
Yeah.
you have to put down the victimization, put it down. Now what? Because it gets very comfortable in that victimized place. You put it down, say, now what? Okay, now what? And I had to say, I said to myself, I'm not getting up from this desk until I finish writing the script. And if I cannot, and if I don't, you're done.
Well, can I stop for 1 second? You said something important I want people to understand. It's because I do this too. You want someone to you want to go in and pitch something and someone to be like, that's amazing. I am so behind you. I'm going to do this with you. Because you want to do it with somebody because there's a side of you, a little teeny side of you that's afraid to do it yourself. That's afraid, that doesn't believe that you can do it too. And that could just be what everybody's told you is now stuck in there,
That's exactly it.
but you can.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly the thing. It was like but that's what I'm saying. It's all by design. It's all by design to make you doubt yourself, especially women. Because if women really today, if everyone listening to this said, you know what? I am that. I am the creator. I do know my worth. We would be in a very different situation. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But I everything you said about pushing you to a certain place, yes, but you really do then have to look at yourself and say, are you willing to make the sacrifice and do it?
bet on
And that
yourself.
comes with a lot of like self-reflection. So I went into that script and like every day, and being told, who and what I am over the course of my life, let alone the industry. You're fighting that every day. Nope, right. Nope, right. Nope, I am smart. Nope, I can do this. Nope. Then I get to a draft. I had no agent. I had one manager. I sent it into the blacklist, and I said, if this comes
What's
back
that?
good, the blacklist is a like an industry. They read scripts, and then it's a very it's a popular one that if you have a good script, like a 7 and 8 is great, and there's unproduced scripts on there that they will go in and take, and so it's a very, very exclusive. If you get a good mark, it usually means it's a good product. So I sent it in, and it came back like with a 7 or an 8. It's like in the middle there somewhere, and I thought, okay, you have something here. And then I went on to try and get money. You tried to do this, and it was 2 years of because it was during COVID, beginning of COVID. It was 2 years of me selling this idea of like, it's the women of the mafia, and hearing all men always, like, hearing you're so passionate about this, and like, oh, you wrote this, and like, oh, and like, it was just so demoralizing, and like no one was taking me seriously. Some of them didn't even read it, or if they did, the first question is, oh, you wrote this? Like, I know you'd think I'm an idiot. I got it. It's okay. It's okay, we can move on now. Yes, I did. It was rough. Then I got we'll give you $5 million if you can get like these three actors, male actors. And I was like, that's never going to happen. Like, they're never signing on to this. Or it was like, well, would you step aside for this male director? And I was like, no, I'm not doing that either. So I remember the last day was the time when it was like, the last time of hearing this man giggle of like, you're so passionate about this. And I remember getting off the Zoom and being like, I went out to my husband. I was like, I'm mortgaging the house. I'm mortgaging the house because I had made some money on one of the shows and I bought the house outright. So I had it and there was money in that house. And I thought, I'm not doing this. I'm not asking anybody anymore. And why am I asking these people to bet on me? I get it. You've never seen me direct anything. You don't know. I hear you. So if I'm asking these people to bet on me, I need to bet on me. So I'm going to take some money out of the house. With that, I was able to start moving. And then I got some people that were hearing me, but they were all personal relationships. And they gave me some money and I got to a certain place where I could begin to move. Went through the casting, like all of it, did the whole thing, and then got to set and had a really bad first producer. I'll just leave it at that. That was basically doubled my budget. And that's when I had to go back into my house and
He doubled your budget?
doubled my budget. He wasn't paying people.
Got it.
Yeah.
So doubling wasn't because it was requiring more. It was,
Oh no, it's not on my screen. It was after we wrapped, I found out a whole bunch of stuff that he was doing. He actually sold my movie out from under my feet. It was really hard. It was really
how is that possible?
the rage.
You own the trademarks and own the scripts,
So
and
what happened was
because a distributor can't buy it without you. Because we had that. By the way, someone tried to do that with ours. I had the original actor agreements, and my husband was like, you got to send the agreements. I was like, yeah, I was 19, by the way. I made photocopies and I sent the photocopies, and that's what saved us because this person was trying to sell it. And then we wrote a letter to every distributor in the entire world with photos of the film and say, if you see this, do not sell it. This is our film.
Wow. It's so insane. So basically, he was trying to get money to like, it was like whack-a-mole. Like he was trying to pay off this and borrow from this, get that. So he had taken money from these people, but in the interim, they had said, if you don't pay us back, we own the movie. And he had no means to pay them back, so they basically owned my movie. And I had to go to them and be like, listen, let's all be friends here because you can't do anything with that movie without me, because I will blow this up. I will scream it from the mountaintops, like, please don't do this. And they were nice enough to be like, we see what's going on. We will wait till you give us the money back. Although they did charge me fees, late fees upon late fees upon late fees. That's a whole other story.
And it's probably money you never even got.
Never even got. I can't even begin. It was so, how this movie ever saw the light of day.
Jennifer, we've gone through it. Like
Beyond.
I have the chills all the way down my body. It's
Beyond.
awful.
Like I literally, one of my producers, thankfully, this woman, Christine, was one of my producers, brought in this producer, Leslie Owen, and that woman and I literally pulled this movie out of a ditch. It was 1 year, Maria, where we would get phone calls or emails every day of like, you owe us this. It was this company or that company that he never was paying. And I'm cleaning out my bank account, like paying, trying to pay. We got into Sundance. That's a whole other story. But we got, not into Sundance, in Tribeca. We got into Tribeca. It was a week prior, and I still didn't own my film. That we literally found this woman through one of these producers, Christine, who loved the film so much that she was like, what do you need? What do you need? And she saved us.
Wow.
And that is just the beginning, because then it comes out. It's in Tribeca, which we had a push to get in. Like, people think that, film festivals are film festivals. They're not anymore. They're machines, just like everything else. We've really, like, I feel for, the kid in Iowa who's making this film, thinking like, if I can just get into a festival, I want any filmmaker listening to me, please don't take it personally, because it's not about the work anymore. It's about money. Like, there's not even spaces available anymore. Like, when because that movie's already showing, that movie's already shown. It's deep. That was another depressing realization. But we did wind up showing there. Nobody had any. Yeah, nobody was expecting much. I'll say that. And then it showed, and it was a standing ovation, and people were crying and laughing at times and like cheering, and it exploded to the people that saw it. And it was just the most rewarding thing, because it wasn't look at me. It was like, it was like, you bet on yourself and you did it. You did it. You did it. And the message in the movie is so vital. It's finding a voice in a world that tells you not to have one. That's the way I had felt. That's the way I saw these young women, because they knew they were never getting out. They knew that they were never getting out. They had no choice. And it's the way I felt. And through my writing, I realized what I was writing. Like, why do I know this? That wasn't my life. I know it because that woman is me. These women are you. You're fighting for a space in a world that's telling you you don't have one. That's what the movie is about. And now, understanding, I'm thinking, this is going to be great. I discovered something new. We've never heard from the women in the mafia. Isn't that great, guys? Like, no, Jennifer, no. It's a great idea, but not from you. No one's giving you a microphone. No one's giving you the microphone. No one. And you are never going to be able to own this idea, because then that would mean they'd have to let you in the party. They're not. They're not. Not you. And that's been something to really, really, the PTSD from this situation has been big, I won't lie, because I really believed that this industry, I knew it was a business, but I thought that art mattered. And I thought that really good work, you always hear it, you have to be undeniable. The movie is it's far beyond undeniable. And it was denied. And now I very clearly can see why they're making the third Godfather of, like, from the female's point of view, all of a sudden.
So when you say denied, what do you mean?
Okay, so if I was a young man from YouTube that did this movie, I would have a 6-picture deal. It's what I believe, and I really feel you don't get reviews that say it is the Scorsese, it is the best mafia film since The Godfather. This is John Cassavetes' work. This is something we haven't seen. This is like, let Jennifer do all the adult films from now on. Like, and I have not had one job from it. Not one. I'm attached to direct a few things. None of them are going because you don't have the right person, and this person doesn't bring money, and so I'm focusing again. It's like, what did you not learn? Do your own stuff. Go to your own thing. The fact that, once again, a female has to outrun, outshow, keep going, do it again, it's exhausting.
I have a
It's
question.
so
Did you connect with any of the other female directors, like the Sophia Coppola's or any of them?
I have not. I would love to. I have to say, I will say this. When I was going through all of this and trying to get some support, just like, hey, could you post, or hey, could you anything? Unfortunately, my one of my producers, Christine Crocus, she's also a filmmaker. She did a movie called Pimp. And she said this to me, and I didn't understand fully, and then I got it. She said the reveal is painful. And I thought, well, I don't fully get it. I got it. The amount of people that showed up, I can count on one hand. I can count on one hand. And I don't know if it's because there are so few spaces for females, that it's just we're conditioned to compete. I don't know, but even to get people to just post, it was
So you
really,
asked people
really
and they
hard.
wouldn't.
They put it on their stories for a minute, or they wouldn't do anything at all, or they wouldn't get back to me, you
Wow.
know, because here's the thing. I was never supposed to be able to do this. And like I have to say, even going out to certain actresses to play my sister, I actually had one actress who I really, really, really over the years just thought like she's a fantastic actress, say to me, why should I do this for you? I want to make my own film. Said it to me, said it to me, said it to me. And I thought,
Oh my God. Because when you said, can you attach the three people? I'm like, I'm surprised that like you didn't have three people you could just call and do. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand.
I don't either, because I've
Because by the
never
way,
been
I'm a
like
TV
this.
host. They don't want to, I would think they wouldn't want to do it for me, but I've called people and they've said yes
It's
to
awesome.
things. And I'm always like, oh wow, okay, this is great. But I mean, you're actually like a real actress. I act. I'm not a thespian, you know what I mean?
But I get it, and I think that's part of the problem. I really do. I think, like, I'm telling you, I was never supposed to be able to do this well. I was never.
Well, is it back to
Oh,
what I said earlier? Is it that unfortunately you have signed up for the harder journey, and unfortunately you are meant to make the stuff unencumbered? Because if you became the new it girl and now they're throwing a Marvel movie at
yes,
you and all this stuff,
yes. No, no.
I don't know if Jennifer Esposito's meant to be a
She's not.
puppet again.
She's not.
And in a
100% agree.
sense, you would kind of be a puppet again, right? Because they're never going to really give you all the control you want.
Never. Never.
So perhaps, Stallone had to make all of his own movies. And then,
Yeah.
he popped in his thing, but then he struggled. People laughed at him with Rocky Balboa.
Mm-hmm.
I remember everyone was laughing at him. And then I saw it. I was guttural crying. I saw the parallels in his life.
Mm.
And I was like, I hated doing premieres. I hated them. And I told my boss, I go, I have to do this premiere. And he's like, okay. So I got there and Sly gets up and I just like started crying. I said, this movie, it touched me so much. Your words have touched me so much. Fuck, I can't
Mm.
talk about it without crying. And he was like, you liked this movie? And I go, are you kidding me? I loved this movie. It spoke to me. And he was so blown away because he was in that same position. He was very vulnerable. And now he bet on himself again and things are happening again, but some people just have something that either scares other people or is too much again for people. They need someone who's going to be compliant, and you're not going to be the compliant one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know you well, but I know
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
This is what I
Yeah.
do. I talk to
Yep.
people. I've been interviewing
Yep.
people for 3 decades. I
Yep.
pretty much can know people pretty quick.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
And
I will say we're here for you,
I appreciate
and
it, and I
we
thank
are
you.
excited to support you.
I
And I
love
will
it. I
push
appreciate
everyone
it.
in our lives, whether
Thank
it's,
you.
you know, heads of industry or whatever, that they've got to look at this. But I do think you're right. I think if they're making I didn't know it was officially in process. I saw that
Oh
they were
yeah.
talking about it.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense that they're going to want their golden goose to be that.
Big 100%. And I was saying it from, so when it burst out of Tribeca, we had a lot of big companies come around like, whoa, where did this movie come from? Um, and then all of a sudden things started to drift away and I was like, what's happening? And we couldn't get it sold. We couldn't get distribution um, for, oh my God, it was like a year. And then finally we had a smaller company come around
A
and they
year after a standing ovation at Tribeca?
year, a
Oh
year.
my God.
1 year could not get anyone to distribute the film. Finally got a small company. They wanted to drop us in Staten Island and LA for like, a weekend, and my producer and I went to AMC ourselves. So it's been a fight since, um, but listen, it's the only reason I say this too is it I said it back then. I said I feel like it's being deliberately buried for a few reasons. I feel like the message here is too potent, especially right now in our climate, about finding a voice in a world that tells you not to have one, especially seeing young women at the helm of this. I also was the first woman who went into this hypermasculine genre and played with it, and it was like, why did she do this? And now we see that this third Godfather, all about Connie, the woman, the daughter, is coming out. And it's like interesting timing because it's been, I don't know, 45 years that we do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, so it's been trying. And it's not that I want accolades. That's not it. What breaks my heart is at the core, I'm just an artist. I want to share. That's what I want, to share what I've done. And the amount of people that still don't even know about this film breaks
Mhm.
my heart. I just want to share it. It's a beautiful piece of work. And to go through everything I've been through and not be able to share it is is hard. It's hard.
So here's my question. First of all, for anybody who doesn't know what it's like to make a movie,
No,
I mean, you give your blood. Like
blood, sweat, and
it's
tears.
when you make a movie, first of all, you get your script. Okay, great. We love our script. We love what we're going to do. And then you're filming and you're getting magic happening. And it's like, oh my God, that scene was amazing. And then you're calling friends. You're like, this looks so good. This is going to be so good. It is almost impossible to have it actually end up good. Forget phenomenal. Like, forget phenomenal. And that's what I was saying. Like, I was questioning myself because I'm watching it alone and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, but I have no confirmation around me, right? I'm not with an audience that's like feeling what I'm feeling. And then I'm like, oh, I think this is like Scorsese. By the way, I hadn't even seen the reviews. I hadn't seen
Yeah,
anything because I never want to be influenced by them
yeah,
because
I get it.
most of the time the reviewers are nasty
Hmm.
and they're not kind. So if they're actually kind, it's because it's so undeniable. I had reviewers I would watch, they would be outside the movie screening. And I'm like, wait, aren't you supposed to be inside? They're like, oh, I already know. I already made up my mind of what I'm going to say about it.
See,
And I'm
see,
like, wait, what?
horrifying.
It's horrifying because you give it your everything and
Horrifying.
you mortgaged your house. I believe I heard you lost your house.
And so what happened, and this is another thing, and this is where it brings me right back to what I was saying, is that I tried to get every kind of press when the movie was coming out, everything. And like, no, or blah, always a reason.
When was it
And
exactly it came
it
out?
was 2024.
Okay.
And then it got to a point where, I don't think I'll ever see any of my money back on this film. But it got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore financially. I just, the burden of the house, of the two mortgages, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I had made a good investment, so I knew it would free me. But I wound up making a post not even about the house. It was about something else. Basically saying, what do we owe each other as human beings? Referring to the movie and like basically talking about what we're talking about. Like, couldn't people post or, and I wind up saying, and I'm moving, I have to move. And the press took it and made it like an example of like, see, don't do this. See, she failed. She failed. And it, when I tell you, went everywhere, that I basically lost my home, and it had me like I was living in a car. I got calls from like Australia, ETV wanting to interview me, like, oh my God, how you doing? Like, and it was made an example of, and I wrote, I don't know if you saw it, an open letter to all the trades. And I think it's one of the finest things I've ever written, because it was so right on the money. It was like, you love to celebrate the fact that you put me in my place. You loved it when none of you could actually report on the movie itself. It's a very, very clear agenda. It's clear as day to me. And it's like over and over and over again, the same agenda. Even so much as like when this thing dropped with the Godfather, I have talked about it. So when the Godfather 3 comes out, it could be their idea. They're already placing it as the first time a woman is dry. It's not the first time. I have no say on what people do. I don't own the genre. Absolutely not. However, you cannot take and erase me. You can't do that. I know you'd love to. And I know I'm the kind of woman that you just don't like, because it's like cockroach. Like, haven't we killed her? Isn't she dead? Didn't we raid her in the face? Isn't she gone? No, she's not. Sorry, she's not. And she's just going to keep making things. But it really has been, it really has been, in my opinion, very deliberate. And that's what makes me sad, because it's that injustice thing again that makes me not only sad for me, but sad for the audience. Because I will tell you, I went into this experience from being an actor, seeing the things that was coming to me, seeing the things that, that is out there as a lover of film, and saying, where are the good projects? Where are they? And I think people don't care. They don't care. They do care. I was in film festivals for a year. They care. The amount of beautiful films that I witness in these film festivals that will never be seen by anyone, it's all deliberate. It's all so the machine just keeps working the way. And remember, when I say the machine, I'm talking about an agenda of the way they want society to be, to look, to feel. It's just the way it is. So here I come, taking this genre, flipping it on its head with someone that is supposed to be long gone. It was not going to happen. However, it doesn't mean I can't try and still get it out there. And that's why I won't let up. I just won my rights back to distribute it in overseas. It's one of the reasons why I'm in Paris. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just not stopping until people know it.
I feel like this movie is your masterpiece, and I think that you have so many more in you. You just can't give up. Just like you couldn't give up on your health, you can't give up on this. You were meant to have your voice, and your voice is our voice. And however we can, I want to fucking cry. Sorry.
I appreciate it. Thank you. If I start crying, I won't stop.
However we can support and be helpful, we will.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, because it's been, it's been a long road. It's been a long road. And so it means the world to me. I'll say that.
I feel like sometimes we just need a little wind at our sail. Like Kevin's always been like, Maria, he's like, all these other people, he's like, they had so much wind at their sail. We've just been just trying to stay afloat.
Same.
Just trying to stay afloat. So we see that and we get it. And we're like, so we're like, all right, let's go help this person. Let's go help that person, because we know what that feels like, whether it's in an illness, whether it's something like this, like we get it. And you were meant to make that. So
I was absolutely meant to make that. It, like I said to you on an email, it literally changed me on a cellular level. There is, and this will make me sob, I will never doubt my ability again. No matter what anybody says, I know exactly what I'm capable of. And it was wonderful to be able to give myself that.
That was the gift.
Yes.
And that's the gift that you get when you bet on yourself. No matter what the ending officially is,
100%.
it's what you learn from it. So I have to ask you, moving to Paris, how has that changed you? Because one of the things we talk about here is you can't heal in the environment that got you sick.
100%. I'm seriously not joking when I say this. I don't think I have ever had a calm nervous system. Ever. Like, I'm being honest. Like, my house was crazy. My surroundings growing up, as you know, were crazy. Then getting into an industry where I was always like, I just finally got to the point where I thought, why do you keep accepting crumbs from every aspect of your life? Why? And you keep begging for crumbs from this industry, you keep begging for crumbs from this relationship, you keep begging for crumbs from this, crumbs, please, please. And it was just like, wait a minute, again, who is serving you the most crumbs though? Who, Jennifer, who? Think about it. And I went, oh, it's me, because I keep accepting them and thinking that the water is going to come from a stone. It's not. Like, what did you not learn here? And I've always wanted to live here. And I'm very, very, very susceptible with injustice and trauma and the news cycle. And even if I'm not looking, which I think it's my responsibility as a human being and humanity to be aware and try and help where I can. And I just really got to the point and said, I will not pay into this anymore. Not in any capacity. I'm not doing it. And I literally came here thinking, I'll come back and forth. Oh. And now being here for 3 months almost, I really don't even recognize the person I am. It's like this, I noticed myself smiling, walking down the street yesterday. I joined a gym and went in the pool. I haven't been in a pool in I don't know how long. I doggy paddled because I'm not a great swimmer across the pool. I got a record player and I'm playing records. Like, I don't know what to say, but it's a piece of finally seeing myself and saying, nobody that I'm asking has to do anything. It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm just going to excuse myself. And it's seriously one of the most powerful things I've ever done for myself. 100%. 100%.
I feel like I knew the answer, but I had to ask anyway.
Yeah. 100%.
I love that. Well, I'm excited for everyone. I know the Heal Squad is going to want to support you as much as I want to. So Heal Squad, definitely go on Amazon and rent Fresh Kills. You will not be sorry.
And write me on Instagram, J Esposito, because I love hearing. I get messages all the time from people, and it really, people come away, men and women, with so many different emotions and feelings. And so please write me, post about it. I'd love it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. And then if you can do us the solid and help us get this out, story it with a link. That's why I like stories, because you can put a link in there and people can actually take action and go get the movie. They can rent it, watch it later, but put it up on your socials. Let people know. We're going to do a whole round with our social team as well, so that everyone can just repost Heal Squads if you want, or whatever you guys, however you want to do it. I always try to make it easy. We'll put everything in there. You guys can do it. And then obviously we'll put links to your books in the summary of this description, because anyone with an autoimmune disease is going to want that. And I think this is the beginning of so much more. I really am so grateful you took the time to share your health journey, to share your whole journey with us. And
It
I'm
means the
excited for
world
what's
to
to
me.
come.
It really does. It means the world to me. And I, like you, I just want to help move things forward because I agree. I think we're supposed to be here to do just that. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Huge, huge thank you to Jennifer for coming on a Heal Squad. Her story is such a powerful reminder that healing isn't just about getting a diagnosis or fixing what's wrong physically. Sometimes it's about learning to trust yourself, finding your voice, and finally giving yourself permission to build a life that feels like your own. If you love this conversation, please share it with a friend or two. And we would really, really love you to support Jennifer and watch Fresh Kills on Amazon. It is so good, you guys. She really created like the Marty Scorsese version of the female mafia story. You guys are going to love it. We're going to put everything in the description down below. So any details you need will be there where you can follow Jennifer as well. And I think if you can all support her, it would be incredible. We need to support each other more in this world. Okay. One more reminder, our next Heal Retreat at Canyon Ranch is coming up in October. If you've been wanting to spend a few days with us, immerse yourself in wellness, you can find all the details in the show notes below as well. I hope to see you there. Okay, Heal Squad, until next time, be nice people, make good choices, and be present. Hey, Heal Squad. We have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.